Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much. It's Handmade by Shirley. I've come on to use some of my purchases from Aall Create. So these were in a sale, and in a 70% sale some of these were. So I got this one, which is geometric butterflies, and this one, which is Alstomeria. I also got some inks, some matte medium gel. I got some, got this bubbles sort of stencil, couldn't think of the word. I also got some nice papers. Got these papers, which are Aged Elegance. So they're uncoated, so you can stamp on them and do other things. So they're A6 size. And I also got an A4 size of these double-sided. So they're double-sided ethereal expeditions. So I've got lots of different nice pages on those. So I'm not going to use them today though, or the stencil, I don't think. I might use a stencil, not sure. Pop these back in here. So I've got all my pieces more or less ready. So this is just something that I was laminating this morning for my choir. I do badges for my choir members, and there were some new members starting, so I was laminating them. And I thought, oh, I need a couple of little sort of background pieces for just colouring on or doing stuff. And then I've got another one. Didn't quite get my name on that one. I got another one. So these are just backgrounds I've downloaded from Canva, and they're the free. It's the free. I'm not on the Canva Pro or anything. It's the free one. So I've just downloaded them. I don't know what they're called, I'm afraid. I could possibly find out, but I mean, there's lots of nice ones on there if you go and have a wee look on the Canva app. And this glue got onto my background, which is a bit annoying, and hence why I'm covering it, because I've got a couple of bits where it actually ripped, which is a bit annoying, but never mind. So I'm thinking I'm going to start with the Alstomeria one, because I do like florals, but I like butterflies too. So I'm going to do, I've got I've got 4 card bases that I cut from a piece of 12 by 12 super smooth card from Pink Frog Designs. Super smooth card, and it is the best card I think for stamping and inking, because it's just good. I just like it. So I would recommend that, but don't go out and buy it just because of that. Just do whatever, use whatever, but it is very good, very good card. So the stamps are quite big. That one's about the size of my hand, and that one's about sort of in these 3 fingers of my hand, so they are quite big. So I got a great tip from a subscriber, Liz, who she said she used her old plates from her die cutting machine. Now this is a very old one. I was actually putting this out in the bin, and then I thought, oh no, keep that, because I'll use Liz's tip. So thanks so much, Liz, for that tip. So what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to do a bit of spritzing. So I've got my lovely spritzing bits and pieces here, but I also got this new oxide, which is Mode Lawn, and I might use that just for a change. So just pop that onto there, and it's nice and juicy. And I did fill my bottle up so that I could spritz, because I'd run out. My craft room is in an absolute disaster area. I've got like everything's around me because I'm going to be moving it round and getting rid of these IKEA cubes because I don't think they serve me very well. And I'm going to put my desk where they are, and then I'm going to get all my stuff in front of me so I don't have to get up and go and get something or bring it to the table, and then it just stays there. It's a mess. So anyway, that's by the by. So let's see now. Have I got a scoosher here? A scoochie? No, I don't think I do. Oh dear. Well, I'll just have to do this today. So just picking up some ink, and I think that's quite a nice colour actually, that mauve lawn. I've not just got it, as I said. It's really quite nice. Yeah, it's quite a nice colour. Just wipe that away. Get it from there. That's fine. And then I think I'm going to do another one. I'm going to dry that off, and then I'm going to do a bit again. So just dry it off. Oh, plug this in. Oh dear. Bear with. That's it. Sorry about this squeaking noise in the background, my chair. So I'm just going to let it run a bit as well. Now the paper is curled, but that's okay, it's easily uncurled. Or the card, there we go. And then I've got, I think I might, no, I'm going to use some of these distress sprays. So I'm going to use this one, which is called Tattered Rose. I'll give it a good old, and I'm just going to spritz a couple of bits. Clogged, I think. So another wee bit here, that's better. And then let's do some, let's just pop some water, that's what I meant to do, water. Just to that kind of, and then I'll just come back once I've dried it again. That, and I've got this kind of fluke, which is fine. It's actually fine. And then I'm going to stamp on with, I think, this one, maybe. I might just go actually for this bigger one. So, oh my word. Right, so I'll pop it down where I think I want it to kind of go. Let's just kind of pop it on there, and then I can lift it up with this mangled old cube. Right, and then I'm going to just stamp it in this new one I've got, which is pine cone. So it's not black, it's brown, it's a brown colour, which I think is quite nice for a little change. Now this probably could be done in a stamping platform as well. But if I ink it up pretty well, and it's obviously quite a juicy ink pad, I should be able to get a good enough impression. Let's hope so anyway, and if it isn't, it doesn't matter. That'll just add to the look of sort of vintage shabby chicy mixed media type thing. Just giving it a good old press down. Now obviously this plate's a bit warped, but let's see what it's brought. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's good. Quite happy with that. That's nice. So straight away I want to just wash my stamp, get all that ink off as much as I can. Oh, oopsie doopsie. And then let's bring this back. So yeah, that's pretty nice. I like that one. Now what I want to do is I just want to bring in, I've got some of these lovely butterflies that Andrea gave me, and I did take them out and have a look. So I'm wondering if there's anything I could add to that. Might work because it's similar kind of colours. Let's see, the other one's quite I think the other one, no, not the pink one either. I don't think the pink one's going to work there. No. Should I give me some other ones? Let's see if any. That's pink again. Gave me a bee, which is nice. I don't think that's for this particular project. Let me see. There should be another. Oh, there it is. There's a couple of these which might work. I don't know. Well, I think I might try and use these. So let's just pop that there just now. So the next thing I want to do is actually stamp that again, but I only want to stamp the floral part of it. So if I just get one of these, and I just want to do the floral part because I want to cut it out and layer it on top. So just go around that bit there, but we're actually just going for the, oops, flowers. That fell off, but maybe that was a happy accident that it fell off. I don't know. Oh, I think it's moved, isn't it? It's not quite in the right place. Let's try it again. Let's just try this again. But that's okay. It kind of went on there. We can do it again. It just obviously wasn't quite on the thing. So let's try it again. See if I can get it to not fall off this time. Oh, it is kind of falling off again. But let's just go for that flower in the middle. And then that should work. Yeah, because it's just the flower I want. I'm going to colour it in, and yeah, this isn't really sticking to this. So maybe I need a little bit of something else just to hold it on as well, but that's fine. So pop that lid on because I don't want, and I'll pop that to the side just now. I'll put this back. But it does work because I've tried it with my other florals, so it does work. It's maybe just the plate's that old that it's not sticking to the stuff now. So I'm thinking I'm going to just bring in, I've got this, I've got some brushes here that are already covered in ink. So I'm thinking if I just use some of these with the ink that's on it already, just to, let's just actually dry this because it might be a bit wet. So just giving it a bit of a dry, because the last time I did this I smudged it. So best to just give it a bit of a dry just to make sure it's not going to smudge, he says. And then I'm just going to let that cool a bit, and then I'm going to Now this, it says green, but it's kind of doing a sort of pink colour for some reason, but that's okay, because that's actually quite nice. Let's see if we've got any other sort of, that's a different green. That's a kind of, I don't know what that is. Just leave it as that. I'm quite happy with that. So I'm just going to get my scissors, and I just want to cut out, I might cut bulbs out as well. And I just want to go round here quickly, very quickly. Oh, round straight, cut it up round here, and then I'll come back when I've cut it. Back in a mo. Right, so I've cut that out, but I'm thinking what I might do is add some of my alcohol pens just to it to give it a wee bit of colour. So I'm thinking, don't know if that would look nice with it. So I've got this pale lilac, pale violet actually, so pale blue violet, and I thought I might just come in here, just down and around where it looks like it might have a bit of shading onto there. So this is on top of the ink that I already popped on, which is fine. Up here, I'm not being too precious about colouring it a certain way. Just thought a bit of colour might lend itself well to the card. So let's just see. Yeah, that's a bit better, I think. Put a wee bit drop here as well. And some on these bits too. Let's see what that's like. Yeah, I think that looks okay. And then we could actually go in to some of these bits and just put a little bit of colour on them as well, because it's the same flower, although it's very much smaller. So just in keeping with that kind of colour. As I say, I'm not being too precious about my colouring. I'm just kind of roughly going over it a bit, which adds to the look. Just up here a wee bit. That, so it just helps to kind of keep it the same. I'll just bring you down slightly. And let me see if there's anything else I could possibly put in the background with these alcohol pens as well, which is actually quite nice. Now, I don't know what sky blue looks like. It's a bit brighter, but I was wondering if I could have just sort of created a bit of like what could look like a shadow on some of these. Could have spoiled it, you know. Don't think so. It's okay, I think that's fine. And then I can just do a little bit up here as well, like that. As well, might just come down here at this side and do a similar thing here. Just sort of create a bit of shadow, and maybe even round the flower here, just a little bit. Yeah, it just kind of creates a bit of a shadow there. This bit's a bit funny, so just go around there a bit as well, and just across here. It just creates a wee bit of more interest, obviously. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect in any way at all. Just something else to add into the mix. Just put a little bit down here as well. I don't think you'll really see all of this as much. Right, so for this bit as well, so that obviously go on there like that. For this piece, what I wanted to do was also to to emboss, heat emboss it. So we'll just take you up a bit. We're going to heat emboss this with some, well, when I get to the heat embossing, because I've got that much on my desk, right, that can go over there. So I've got to my heat embossing. Take this to the side, and I'm going to use clear embossing powder again, just to give it that nice shine. So I will pop the whole thing into here and just get sticky ink on top like that. Sticky ink. So let's see, we're well covered with that. Yep. And then just pop this on top. And I can just give that a nice shine. Pop that away. Let's find my tweezers. Perhaps. Oh, there's that pen I was looking for earlier. Never mind. So there we go. We just pop that there, and I'll pop this back in. And then I'm going to just heat emboss this. So we'll just do it on screen, I think. Just trying to hold it at the very... It's alright, didn't mean it to fall down that way. I think it's okay. So there you go. So we're going to pop that onto here, and that'll just make that stand out. So I'm just going to do it with glue. I was going to do it with foam pads, but I'm not going to do that now. So that just helps that to stand out a little bit more on your card. So let's just pop that on top. In place. Oh. That's it. Now I'm going to cut this down, I think, slightly. I'm not going to keep it the 6 by 6, but that's quite nice, I think. You'll agree. Now, what we're going to do is going to do some inking in the background. So, what I'm thinking is, I've got this actual fern that I got from Andrea, so I might just do a little bit of inking with that in the background. So let's see what this colour is. It's a kind of green. So I'll just pop a bit of that on there. Oh, I'll be cutting that bit off now. As you can see, because I've gone over, which wasn't very clever of me. Mind. Yeah, there's a wee bit, and that just adds a wee bit of interest as well. So just using what was on my brush, which was actually green. I can't remember what green it was actually that was on that brush, but that's quite nice as well. And maybe another bit here, just at the top. Work. Cool. Right, I'm going to cut it down, and then we can put it, make it into cards. So obviously I'm going to have to cut this bit away because I've just went and gone over, and I'm thinking I'm going to cut a bit off that off as well. So that's now measuring 5, not quite 5, let's just cut that to 5. 5 by, what's this wee? 5 by 5 1/4. I could just chop a little bit off maybe. It's not straight. It's not straight there, so that's about, I would say that's 5 by 5 roughly. Yes, that's fine. I like that. Now let's pop this into the bin. Now let's see, is there anything else I can add? Yes, there is, from this lovely stamp. I will use the other stamp, the Alstomeria bit as well. So I'm just thinking I could add a couple of, I could put Alstomeria, and I could put Sending You Happiness as well as part of the other bits. So where was that piece I stamped on the wrong way? Let's just use it. And let's just get a block for these. So let's put that one on there, and I'll get another block for Alstomeria. I'm just going to do them in the pine cone. And I'm going to just do that one there. It's a bit, let's try it again. Maybe that's just, yeah, I think that's just the way it is. And then this one can just go in between here. There we go. That's nice. And I'm just going to pop these on to the front of this card. So I'm just going to cut these. I'm not going to do any fancy cutting out with a die. I could, but I'm not going to. Right, and let's see, so I probably want to cut that slightly nearer and slightly nearer here, and a little bit straighter on the top and here as well. So Sending You Happiness. That's a lovely little bit of wording, Sending You Happiness. Right, now I just want to go over the edges of that with the brush, just to cover the not let the white be so bright on this particular occasion anyway. There's obviously a place for whites and things. So now I don't have a card base, but I've got this other piece of card which is 6 by 6, and I think I'm just going to pop it on there, and then I can put it onto a card base when I put it on social media. And I'll leave the social media links in the information box, which is very important to look at because it has some really important information. I always write a bit in there just to say hello, etc. Oh, coming a bit squinty there. That's better. And I'm just going to pop these on. I said I was going to add Andrea's butterflies. I still might. So I'm going to put Alstomeria here. And sending you happiness. Put that up the side actually. Instead of... let's do that for a change. So we can get it a bit straighter. Get rid of that. That's fine. And let's see these, because they are in keeping with kind of the colour in a way. Let me look through the... yeah, I'm going to put that one just on here at the corner. Like that, and this one, let me look through the view, see which looks better. I think it looks quite nice at that side. I'll just pop that on at that side. Let me see if that's a good place or just straight on. Let's just do it straight on there. Yep. So that's me with my first stamp from Aall Create. I hope you've enjoyed it. As I say, I'll pop it onto a card base and I'll put it on my social media so you can have a look there. So that was this one, which was, where's the packaging gone? This one here. So it was Alstomeria. So thanks so much for watching. Please do let me know your thoughts, and I'll be back soon with some more. Okay, take care. Bye for now.